Hey Prasad. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for waiting. Okay, so hey, load balancer. Nice. Okay, so what did we discuss in our last class? Can you remind, please? CloudWatch is done. Okay, CloudWatch. So CloudWatch, we need to do the practicals on CloudWatch. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a quick shootout round on CloudWatch. So using CloudWatch, can you monitor only EC2 or all AWS services? All AWS services. So CloudWatch monitors only few default metrics. What are those? What are those metrics? 4 metrics. Yeah. What are those? Yeah. CPU, network, disk, and status check. Nice. What are those metrics called? Host level metrics. Nice. Very nice. So memory comes under host level metrics or custom metrics? Custom metrics. So, and do you remember what did we discuss about the alarms? Alarms. Yeah. So alarms has 3 states. What are those? Alarm, okay, and insufficient. Nice. So can we integrate SNS with the alarm? Yes. Alarm can take some actions based on the threshold values it has reached. Yes. Is it possible to stop any EC2 instance using alarms? Yes, possible. Yeah. And we have discussed about the events. Do you remember the events? Right? And then we have discussed about the CloudWatch logs. Nice. Let's jump on onto the practicals and see what we can do there. Okay. So let me set it up first. I jumped directly here. Close. Okay, nice. Can you see my screen? Okay, dookies. Okay. Okay, let's, guys, before moving to the CloudWatch, let's first of all, we need to monitor the EC2 instance. Now, should we go and create a couple of EC2 instances? Right? Let's go and create couple of EC2 instances here. I'll go with Linux and Nala, and then I'll create 2, and then I'll enable it. I'll put it in 1A, and then next. You should be now expert in launching the EC2 instances. Okay. So you call it as server 1 here, and then you call it as server 2 here. Okay. Now let it be running. Okay. Nice. So guys, CloudWatch, basically, do you see in the bottom we have the monitoring section, right? So if you go to the monitoring section, here you have this CloudWatch metrics. You can monitor this particular server 2 from here, monitoring tab. So right, we have discussed there are 4 metrics. What are those? CPU, disk, network, status check, right? 4, right? These are all the only default metrics that you can monitor from here. So you can go to the CPU utilization. We have just launched an EC2 instance. That's the reason why you don't have any graph, right? So you can have average, minimum, maximum, and all. And then time range, you can go for, you can easily find out. Let's say, for example, how this can be used is like this. Let's say you are using 4x large, big machine, and then you're paying a lot of money there. And then your manager said, hey, please check whether this T2 4x large is necessary for that server 2. And if you come to the monitoring and see the CPU utilization, it is not even 5% for since last 2 weeks. Do you need T to 4x large for that? Definitely no. Definitely no. So that's the reason by seeing these monitorings by CPU utilization, you can easily find out that is not performing up to the mark. So you can just go and scale down the EC2 instance to T2 medium or large instead of having 4x large. And then if you want to see like how your machine is performing, yes, CPU utilization is the one where you see like now it is less than 1 only. You can go for 80%, 90%. You get nice graphs over here actually. So you can monitor everything here. And remember, don't enable detail. What are the two types of monitorings? You know, right? Basic and detail. So which one is chargeable, billable? Second one, detail one, right? Yeah. So don't enable it. But the only thing is if you enable, here you get, see, 1220, 1225, 1230, 1235. This is, you have 5 minutes of data intervals here. If you enable that, everything will be same. The only thing is you will get every minute here monitoring. That's the only difference there. And you see that here you have an option called create alarm on the right side. Yeah. Should we go and create an alarm there? Right? You can go and create in CloudWatch section. I'll show you that there also how to create an alarms. But here you have create alarm. Let's go and create an alarm for individual EC2 instances. Each and individual EC2 instance can go. You can go and create an alarms here, guys. Let's say, for example, I'm going and creating alarm for maybe server one. So here, create alarm, guys. So now you want to create the alarm. What is the requirement? My requirement would be like this. Hey, guys, can you tell me here? I have just launched an EC2 instance. What would be the CPU utilization for that? Will it be high? Will it be maximum, or will it be minimum? Minimum only, na? Right? So if I want to take some action, should I take maximum or minimum for our requirement here? Minimum only, right? Yeah. So what I do is, hey, if whenever minimum, my CPU utilization minimum is less than or equal to 10%, my CPU utilization minimum is less than or equal to 10%. Guys, this is completely based on your requirement. Your CloudWatch is completely based on requirement. Okay, I'm just giving a sample examples here. Okay, right? If my threshold, this is called your threshold value. The CPU minimum CPU utilization is less than or equal to, this is greater than, right? And this is less than or equal to 10% for at least one time in 5 minutes. You can take the action. What should we do? Should we stop it? Let's go and stop it. Guys, you understood how I'm creating alarm? And also here you have send a notification here. See, so notification. So we have, you might have already created a topic. Guys, did you create a topic at the time of auto scaling? Do we have the topics already created? Only 3 people? Almost 60 people here. Oi, hello. Yeah, respond. My energy is depend upon your response. Okay. So yeah. So yes. So you select that. If at all you don't have any topic created, you can create it from here itself. No issues. Okay. So now, do you understand this alarm here? What we have done? So if for this EC2 instance, CPU utilization, if it is less than 10%, it will go and stop the EC2 instance. It will go and stop the EC2. The last one is the name. I call it as CPU utilization low. Something I call it as. You can give any name basically. Give the name. And I'm going and creating alarm. Alarm created. Guys, what is alarm status here? Insufficient data. Why? I just created. How much time we should wait for to get the data here? 5 minutes. Why? Because it is basic monitoring. We have it. So, and you see that alarm status is no data at the moment. So if you refresh it, you need to wait a little bit, and let's see what happens to that. If you do this, this will give the nasty errors, because after all, it is a code. Okay, let's wait a bit. What's the CPU utilization here? Oh, it's 29%. Okay, we need to get that down first. So let's, if it is less than, it's still no data. Yeah. Do you see that now? It took little bit, 5 minutes here, a few minutes. Do you see that alarm status is now alarm? What is doing now? It is going and stopping the EC2 instance. Now it is in alarm state. And this see the CPU utilization, it was 29%, and all of a sudden it fell down to 0% because no one is accessing it. If no one is accessing it, obviously my CPU utilization is 1% or less than 10%. If no one is accessing it, why to keep my machine running and pay the bill to AWS? So just go and stop it by creating alarms like this. And this is in alarm. Is this clear how to create alarms for the EC2 instance and then taking the action based on the values? Everyone, CC? Nice. So we wanted to say bye-bye to EC2, but still today at least we say bye-bye. But let's go to CloudWatch and let's try to create alarms over there, not here now. So let's go to CloudWatch. And this guy is now updating new design. Yeah. So just remove all these things here. So these are all newly launched. Don't bother about all these things. So guys, here, can we edit existing alarm? Definitely, we can. So do you see that we have created alarms in EC2, but those alarms will go and sit over here only in CloudWatch, right? In CloudWatch. So I'll come to the dashboard soon. Do you see that alarm status? In alarm, insufficient, and okay. If you go to in alarm, so do you see this alarm here? The alarms which we have created here. Anytime you can go and edit it. That's what you are asking about. Okay, na, Vina? Okay, so any alarms which is like, it is in alarm state or in insufficient, in okay state, everything will be listed. Did we learn that we have 3 different states of alarms? This is the guy. You can create alarm also from here, guys. See, you have option here, create alarm. Should we go and create an alarms from here? Let's show. This is little bit different, but yeah, let's do create alarm. Here, select metrics. What is the metric that we are using here at the moment? What is a metric? CPU, right? Yeah. Select metric. Guys, if you, so these are all, whatever you see here, these are all called namespaces. What is that? Namespaces. Namespaces is nothing but group, and you have metrics inside it. For EC2, how many metrics are there? 473 metrics are there. And for application load balancer, Beanstack, logs, EBS, EFS, SNS, S3, whatnot. These are all like, namespaces. So where is our EC2 instance? We need to monitor, right? The particular EC2 instance. Let's go to that EC2 instance. And we need to monitor CPU, right? It is, will it be in auto scaling or will it be in instance metrics? Here, instance metrics. Here, do you see that so many EC2 instances are there? Let's quickly find out. This one, anyways, we have stopped. Let us go and stop this guy. What is the ID? Copy this ID and then put it here. You will get the related. Do you got that? For that particular server 2, we are interested with the CPU utilization here. Got this? Select matrix. What did it ask? It's asked only to select the metric. To select the matrix, we need to find out to which source we need to select the matrix. Now. So I have copy paste that instance that I want to monitor it, and I have selected CPU utilization of that particular instance. This is the metric name, and this is the instance ID. Okay, and then average 5 minutes of interval right here. If the CPU utilization is greater than or equal to, you want greater than or lower here now at the moment to stop it. Less than, right? Lower. So less than or equal to, again 10% here. You understood, guys? It is all about, you read it and you will have to know. So give the name, details and all. So static value, and it is less than or equal to 10. Let's click on next. And if it is, and what is that? It's a band. So basically value, you need to provide a basically threshold. Based on the standard, higher number means thicker band, lower number means thinner band. You need to mention the name, number, basically some number. Maybe you can copy paste and get the value here. So here, if it is less than 10%, next year. And if it is less than 10%, did I give less than 10% only? Okay, lower than a 10%. It should be in alarm. So whenever it is in alarm, you should send a notification, right? So 6:30 p.m. batch notification is there. If you want to have multiple topics to be triggered, add notifications here. So guys, here you want to add it to auto scaling group based on these values. You can add if you want, but here we are interested here to add to stop this particular EC2 instance. Are you following what I'm doing it, guys? Is it clear till here, everyone? Right? Just read it and you'll get to know. Can we terminate? Of course, let's go. You want to like to terminate? Let's terminate then. I need to, again, we need to launch the EC2 instance. So ignore this, click on next, give the name. I call it as terminate alarm, next, and then create alarm. And now this alarm should go and terminate the EC2 instance. Okay, let's wait a bit. It should go and terminate. Okay, do you see that? Now this is in alarm state and it is now, boom, terminated. Shutting down meaning it will be terminated. You understand how to create alarms from EC2 and from the console? CloudWatch console? Everyone? Now it's gone, terminated. This is how we create an alarms for the EC2 instance. Nice. And here you have something called billing. Guys, billing. So if you have a requirement such a way that if your billing is crossing greater than 100 rupees per particular time, you should get a notification. Can we do that? Yes, by creating billing alarms here. See, create alarm, same concept. So USD currency, if you want to have USD currency or INR rupees, put the currency there. If that means maximum, it will check every 6 hours. If it is greater than 100 rupees, you put whatever number you want it there. Same how you are creating it. If it is greater than 100 rupees, next. And yeah, it is panic mode, and then select to which you need to send it. And it is not applicable, all these things here. Click on next. And then here you create something called billing alarm. Next. And then create alarm. Okay, so you can create your own alarm, remember guys, you should go and confirm your subscription, then only will receive an emails. If it is here like pending confirmation, you don't receive any emails, but of course the alarm will act. So now if my charges are greater than 100 rupees, it will check every 6 hours and it'll send you a notification. Hey, if it is crossing 100 rupees, then you'll get a notification from this saying that you're crossing more than 100 rupees here. Is it clear how to create a billing alarm, everyone? Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, let's, okay, now we'll go to the logs soon. So we have talked about alarms. What is the next topic here? Events. Metrics are the same thing, guys. So same thing what we have went here. It's the same thing. You can pick up the metrics. So let's go and talk about the events here. First important thing is now CloudWatch events are now renamed as Amazon Event Bridge. Keep this in mind. If you get any certification question about the events and all, it is also called it as now Event Bridge. Event Bridge. Let's go and see what is here. Do you remember, guys? Right? So there will be a requirement. Okay, let's have a requirement and we'll act based on that now. Guys, now let's say if someone is launching the EC2 instance, you should receive a notification. Should we do that? Let's take that requirement. Let's do that. So here, events. So let's go with the event patterns. And here, service name. Which service that I told you CloudWatch is not only for EC2, it is for all your AWS services. Which is a service you are interested in, you need to select that. As we have talked about EC2 a lot, let's select that EC2. So if you want whatever is happening in the EC2, all events, you can select all events. No, if you want like, no, I need a particular notifications, you have a list of notifications here. For example, I'll go for EC2 instance change notification. EC2 instance change notification. You just read it. EC2 instance change state change notification. Instance states, how many states are there? 6 states hai na? Pending, running, stopping, stop, shutting down to terminate. We have 6. So if you're interested in any of these 6, any state, go for any state. Our requirement is what? If someone is launching the EC2 instance, you need to get notification. So which is the state that you need to use it in this case, in this requirement? Specific state. Which state? You understood the requirement. If someone is launching the EC2 instance, if someone is starting the EC2 instance, what is the state that I need to select here? Pending or running, right? Yeah, very good. So if you select specific state here, Do you see that? Pending, running, stopping, stopped, shutting down to terminated. So if you are interested in pending, select it, and running also, select it. If there are any state change from pending to running, you will receive a notification. Hmm? Got that? So here, guys, if you want any state, you can go with any state also, no issues. So based on the requirement, you need to select the state here. Okay, now if it is going from pending to running or running to pending, it will never go from running to pending. So it is pending to running only. But yeah, for which EC2 instance that you are interested? All EC2 instances or only specific EC2 instances based on the requirement now. So now we don't have anything, one is terminated. So if you are interested with this particular one, select that and then add that instance ID here. So you can add multiple basically instances over here, or you can select simply any instance, or you can select specific instance IDs over here. Is this clear? Everyone? If you read it, you'll understand. We have learned everything. But if you read it, event pattern, service name, which instance type, which pending, running, specific instance, you select. If it is any instance, you can select any here. Okay, now, if this particular EC2 instance, someone has stopped and start. That means whenever you get pending for that. Pending meaning definitely might have stopped. Someone might have stopped. Guys, if you get a notification, if someone is stopping it, the machine, this machine, let it be like this. If the someone is stopping your this machine, what is the state that you should select? You should select stopping, or you should select stop, not running and pending. So it's completely based on the requirement, right? Yeah. Okay, now someone is doing nasty thing for this EC2 instance. Someone is stopping it. What you should get? You should route to the target, right? Which target you should route it? SNS. You have SNS here. You select that 9 p.m. batch. Those who have subscribed to that topic, everyone will receive an email notification or SMS notification. Clear? Let's click clear and then just call it as stop event. Create rule. Boom. You can create rules like this based on require how many you want. Hey, is this clear how to create a rules? Nice. Okay. Let me click on create rule again. I just wanted to discuss one more thing here, which is schedule or whatever. Schedule. Right? Do you remember the schedule meaning here? Do you remember schedule? Schedule meaning, what is the example that we took? Stop and start at a particular time, right? Using what? Using what? Lambda. Using what? Lambda, right? Yeah. If you have a requirement that exactly at 9 p.m. or 5 p.m. you need to stop and start the EC2 instance automatically, how do you achieve? Using events. So if you are thinking about the scheduling something in AWS, please keep this in mind that you can schedule it in your event bridge, like event here. So this is, you can have a fixed rate of every minutes, every hours, every days. You can say that every day this should run it. Every minute you should run it. Every hours you should run this. Execute, trigger it, invoke it. Or you can have your cron job expression. Cron expression meaning, those who don't know, guys, click on this learn more. If you come down here, you have these things. Minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 stars or 5 stars basically. So first star represent minute, second star represent hours, day of the month, day of the week, and year. For example, if you want to run that, if you want to schedule it for every day at 10 o'clock, you put star for everything, and hours is 10 and minutes is 0. So this will be, this cron expression is like every hour, every day at 10 a.m. If you put 12 and 15 here, every day at 12:15. If you put something like exactly 18, meaning 6 p.m. When? Monday to Friday it should run. Every month it should run. And if you say that every 15 minutes you should run, put all star, and in minutes 0/15 you put it. So basically, based on a requirement, you have to go with this kind of cron job expression. So for example, let's take this, and I push this, and it will not accept star space. I'll remove the spaces. If you remove the spaces, it gives the triggers for next 10 days. Remove the, it will trigger the next 10 days. So next, tomorrow, exactly, if you don't want that option, put question mark. So exactly at 10 a.m., this will trigger. Boom. This will trigger. Okay, exactly 10 o'clock trigger. What it should trigger? It should trigger the lambda function, right? It should trigger the lambda function. So guys, this would be the thing. I'll just show you how the lambda looks like, and this would be very interesting for you to do it. But guys, this is, please understand, this is for the developer. But let's go and find out. See, this start and stop EC2 instances using, I'll take Python for example. Okay, this is the link that you can follow. I'll talk about this. Guys, save this link. Okay, let's see how we can stop and start the EC2 instance using Lambda. And you will get to know the idea on the Lambda also now. Guys, see here. So, how does the CloudWatch, okay, CloudWatch will trigger Lambda function. And Lambda should go and stop the EC2 instance. Yes or no? Everyone? So Lambda should go and stop the EC2 instance. By default, Lambda has access to the EC2 instances? No. How should I give? What is the feature that I use here to give access to Lambda to start and stop EC2 instance? What is the concept we should use it here? To give permissions to Lambda? Would you create keys for it? Or would you create IAM user for it, for Lambda? Ah, excellent, Veena. Excellent, Shiva. Nice, nice. Meet me after the course. I'll give you chocolates, okay? So roles will come into picture because Lambda should have permissions to go and start and stop the EC2 instance. By default, Lambda doesn't have any access. You have to provide the access to Lambda. We cannot create a keys. We cannot create IAM users. You should create a role and attach it to what? Attach it to Lambda. Sarvan is a part of it. Yeah. Yeah. After this COVID stuff, pray for that. Okay. So guys, you understood. You're getting the logic here, right? So that meaning, first of all, in order to start this task, we need to create the role, right? First, we need to create a role, and role should contain what permissions? EC2 permissions to start and stop, right? Okay. So guys, you follow these steps one by one, and you can easily, the first step is you need to create a role. You need to create a policy first. See, this is the policy that you are creating it. First thing, do you know how to create a policy? Did we learn in IAM section to create a policy? Copy paste this, create a policy, copy paste this code. What is this code contain? See, this code contain, it is putting some logs, and then this code contains, what is this doing? EC2 colon star start star. That meaning in EC2, you are giving permissions only to start and only to stop. Nothing else you are giving it. So you create a policy. You know how to create a policy and you know how to create a role. Did we learn how to create a role? Yes. While creating a role, which one you should select? EC2 or Lambda? Lambda you need to select. So you select the Lambda, right? See. You will get to know, right? So you create a role, select Lambda, and then the policy which you have created here, you should select it. And then create a role for your Lambda. Okay, once you created a role, is you're understanding what I'm saying? Are you following? Is there any confusion? Okay. See, these are the EC2 instances which we need to go and stop it. How do we do stop it? Using at 9 a.m. at 9 p.m. we need to, oh, I have changed lady. Okay, at 9 p.m. you need to stop. At 9 a.m. you need to start. Right? How do you achieve this? We just talked about event scheduler. Right? Can you now you understood how to schedule it using cron job exactly at 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. Yes, everyone. Yes, nice. Now I'm talking about the Lambda. How? So now Lambda we need to create it. So to run this is how many functions we need to create? Lambda now 2 functions now. Yes. What is the function we call it as? We call it as stop function, and another one we call it as start function. Yes, now. Okay, now this function should go and stop the EC2 instance. Yes or no? Yes. So that meaning, guys, by default, EC2 instances, this lambda function will have access to stop the EC2 instance? No. What we need to do for that, we need to give permissions to lambda. How do we do? Using roles. Role meaning we need to create a role. Role meaning we need to attach some policy na here. Na? So that policy, before creating the role, you need to create a policy. Do you agree? Because at the time of creating a role, you attach the policy. So we need to create a policy now, everyone. So you are creating a policy. What you are creating the policy to EC2 to start and EC2 to stop. This is a policy you are creating it. Okay. So you create a policy, and the time of creating a role, you attach this policy to this role, and your role is created. Yes, everyone. How to create a role? So go to IAM. So here roles, create role. Here, are you here? The question here is for you. Are you attaching the role to EC2 or to lambda? Here you select the lambda. Select the lambda and click on next. You need to select the policy now here. The policy which you have created just now. What policy that you have created? I told you to copy paste this and create a policy. And you attach that policy here. And then next finish it. Role will be created. Clear now? Clear now how to create a role? Right? Okay. Okay. Is it clear? No confusion? Na? Nice. Okay. So now, you know, the roles are ready now, right? So the role is ready, policy is ready, you create a role. Now we need to go and create a Lambda function. Should I show you how to create a Lambda function? Right? See. Let's go to Lambda. I told you, if you're going to Lambda, it is function. You need to go and create the function. Do you see that here? Create function. Okay, give the function name called stop function or something. Guys, which language you are using it? The code. Do you see the code? If you come down, this is the code that you are using it. What is this code? This is Python code. So if you know, these are all the languages this Lambda supports. So here I go and select Python 3.8, latest one, because my code is, I'm writing it in, my code is written in Lambda, I mean Python. Okay, now do you see that here? Change default execution role. Here you need to select the role that what you have created. We just created a role, na? So use the existing role. So here the role which you have, just imagine that I have created Lambda EC2 role. The role you have to select it, what you have created. This is how you are, just now we told, na? Attaching a role to the Lambda here. You're attaching role to the Lambda. If you're attaching the role to the Lambda, this role has the policy of stop and start. And now this Lambda will go and do start and stop for the EC2 instance. Got that? Got you? Right? Got me here, guys? Okay. So you just ignore all these things, select it, and click on create function. Step by step, you have it here. So now what you do is you take this and then copy it, put it in the function here. If you double click this py file, replace this with this. Hai na? So guys, so which region are you using? What should we replace with here? Which region are we using? AP minus South minus 1. Right? And then here, what is the instances that you want to stop? This is the array. Right? You put it, you get your instance IDs and put it over here. And what is this doing? It is calling an inbuilt function here, method called stop underscore instances there. So once it is calling stop instances function, whatever the instances that it is calling here, this variable, all the instance IDs will go and stop it. And click on deploy. So my function is now created. Do you understand how to create a function? You have step-by-step process here. Don't worry. Click, choose, create, click, create, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, and click, choose, deploy. We did just now. Same thing here. Okay. So now stop function is created. Now here, exactly at 10 a.m. at target, to which one we need to send now? Lambda function. So I need to basically refresh it. So exactly at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. whatever, create rule, schedule, cron expression, put it, remove it, spaces, remove the spaces. Okay, exactly at 10 o'clock at GMT time. Now I want to, this is stop function should be invoked. Stop function. Create rule. Do you see that now? So now exactly at 10 o'clock at that time, that's this event will be triggered, And then that event is now calling the Lambda function, and whatever the code you have written in the Lambda function will be executed. Lambda function, you have written a code that to stop the EC2 instances with the instance IDs that you have mentioned in that array, and everything will be stopped. The same thing, you need to create another rule at the particular time for start function. Do you understand now, everyone? Clear, CC? Everyone? Nice. Nice. Cool. So do you understand how to now? So that is about the events, basically rules. So you can create an event patterns like this, that what we have done, and you can go and schedule it. That is about the events. What's that? Amita, thank you very much, sir, for yours. Thank you very much, sir, for you. Selected in Capgemini. Aha. And AWS, they asked me a few questions on AWS. Nice. Congratulations, Amita. Good one. So yeah, good that our course help you somehow to clear this interviews. Nice. Keep it up. Congratulations. So do you agree this course helped for you for clearing the questions? Nice. This would be the confidence for others. Yeah. So guys, I'm telling you, we are going very, very deep for each and every topic, right? So easily, I'm telling you, easily you can kick it off. No problem at all. Okay. Just concentrate on what and just follow what I'm saying and just follow the labs. Yeah. Good one. So let's meet Amita sometime later for a nice party. Okay. In simple way of describing. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Good. Proud of you. Okay. So guys, so this is about here events. Sure. And then we have the topic here, last topic here is groups. Guys, important here. See, yeah. Groups. CloudWatch logs. Guys, we are talking about here CloudWatch logs. Do you remember about the CloudWatch logs, what we are talking about? Right? So here what we're going to do as a lab is, guys, we'll go and launch one EC2 instance. And there we'll install some agent, CloudWatch agent, and we'll push some logs, and the logs should be visible over here. What do you say? Should we do that? Everyone? That's a concept, right? Remember, I don't want to launch 10 machines. So if you do it for one machine, it is same for 10 machines also, right? So I'll launch one EC2 instance, and there I will go and install CloudWatch agent, and then I'll select the path. Let's say I want to move system configuration files, or you can have application log path, some log path. I give that path, and then I move all the data over here automatically. You understand the task, everyone, what I'm going to do? Should we go and launch an EC2 instance now? Let's launch Red Hat Micro 1A, enable it. Next. So here, name CloudWatch logs demo. Next, review it and then launch. Yeah, guys. So what I want to do, I'm launching an EC2 instance here, right? I'm launching an EC2 instance. All right, I'm launching an EC2 instance. So this guy. So this EC2 instance basically, okay, this is the CloudWatch logs. This is the CloudWatch console, AWS console, CloudWatch console. This guy should push the logs over here. So by default, this EC2 instance inside, I'll install the agent. Can you tell me this agent has any access to the CloudWatch? No. What is the thing that you need to attach it here again? A role. Got that? So we should create a role and give CloudWatch permissions and attach this role to the EC2 instance. Do you agree? Everyone, do you agree? Yes. So this is now cooking. So first let's go and quickly create a role. Where is that? In IAM. So guys, the roles will come into picture like this. See. Okay. So now I'm creating a role. So to which service I need to attach this role? EC2 or Lambda? EC2. Next, what kind of permissions I should attach to this role? What is the permissions I should attach to the role? CloudWatch. Very nice. CloudWatch. Full access. Next, review it, and then I call it as 6:30 p.m. Logs role something. Create role. So guys, we are attaching the role to the EC2. That's why we selected EC2. In your place, in Lambda, that what we had talked about, we are attaching it to the Lambda. That's why we selected Lambda. Okay. And here, let's go here and then attach that role to this EC2 instance. Do you see that? Attach, replace IAM role, and 6:30 p.m. logs role, attach it. Now this guy has access to the CloudWatch from inside. Is that clear? How to create a role and attach to the EC2 instance, everyone? So up here. One, two, three. EC2 minus user. Sudo minus yes. Okay. So I have a commands, guys. I have launched Red Hat, right? For that, we have a different commands. So let us go and launch Linux too. My apologies. Guys, this will work for here also, but I have a commands that I have supports Linux too. You go with the Linux too quickly. I could have done this before, but yeah, no issues. Select one, enable it. Here itself, I can attach the role. 6:30 p.m. log role. Next. So CloudWatch demo new. Next. Review it and then launch it. View instances. I can terminate this. Everything in one right click. Yeah. You understood what I did? Because I have listed for you here quickly that is Red Hat and this is CentOS. Linux 2 has something little bit different commands, and this whatever the commands I have given for you supports Linux Amazon 2, Amazon Linux 2. That's the reason. Of course, whatever we have done till now here on the Red Hat also, the only thing is some commands will change. This systemctl, some starting services command will change. That's the only difference. So let's go and quickly log into that machine. Connection 120. 6 p.m. So let's wait a bit. So it's still cooking. Oh, meanwhile, let's go and attach the role for this. Oh, we have already attached, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's already attached. So let's open. Okay, it's working. So EC2 minus user sudo minus yes. So guys, so the commands what I can send you if you can mail me someone. So first thing is always good to have a yum update, but this time I don't go do this because this will take a lot of time. It is like installing all the security patches and updates. So thumb rule is whenever you launch a Linux EC2 instance, always go with first yum update -5. After that, you do whatever you want. So here I want to install the agent, right? The agent name is AWS logs. So let's go and install that. Yum install -y AWS logs. Now, it is now installed. So it is installed in a place called CD. Go to CD AWS logs. If you do ls, you can see the files, two files called awscli.conf, awslogs.conf. You're following? Guys, you're following? Okay. So AWS, yeah, AWS logs, AWS CLI, and then AWS log.conf. So here, let us see what is there inside this AWS CLI.conf. How to edit this file? vi AWS CLI.conf. Enter. Guys, do you see that region? We need to change this region. Na? To which region you want to send the logs? In Mumbai region, right? So let us take this out and then put our region. Escape. Save it. Okay. So here in this AWS logs.conf, in this file, it will mention, hey, which logs that you want to send it to AWS CloudWatch logs, which log path, which place. Guys, if you have an application in your Linux running some application in Linux, there will be some folder, right? Some var logs, some Tomcat application logs. There will be a path, configuration path, right? Yeah. So that path you need to give it in this log file. So here by default, let's see what is there. I do cat AWS log. I'll just read the data here. So here do you see this file? Var log messages. So this is the place where you can replace with this your own application path, log path. Guys, application will have the log path. Na? Do you agree with that? Application will have the log path. So that log path you need to put it. For now, what I do is I have var log messages, system log files where I need to push it. So I don't change it here. So now I just go and start the logs. So before that, do we have any log group here? Logs here? No. So let us go and then start that log agent. Systemctl start AWS logs D is the command. It is started, guys. I have written clearly here. Okay. Now I'll refresh. See. Do you see that? Var log messages now is pushed to the CloudWatch here. And this is the instance ID from where it is pushing. And do you see the logs here, guys? All the logs are here now pushed automatically. This is whenever there is a new log, this will be retrieved automatically here. All logs will be there. Like this, you install the agent for each and every EC2 instance, and then you will have based on the instance ID here, you have it, and you can go and check the logs. So for the developers, this will be a very easy. so that you can centralize the log here in CloudWatch logs. Hey, is this clear on the logs? Everyone? Nice. So now quickly, the task for you would be here. Okay. So guys, see here. Can we do it in Windows? Yes, we can do it Windows Server. The procedure is a little bit different. So you can do it also. That is the exploring stuff what I would like to give Harsha. Guys, see here. Can you tell me yes or no? Can you stop and start the terminate? Can you terminate the EC2 instance by creating alarms which is less than 10% CPU? Yes. Nice. Dashboards. Guys, here we have something called dashboard. You can create, you can create a dashboard. Call it as DevOps team name. DevOps dashboard, create it, and you can have a widgets here, guys. So you can select any of the style, and then which one you want to monitor. So you can have everything in one shot, in one place. So for example, I'll select this, create widget, and then I call it as application CPU utilization. So I can have it in one place. So I can add another widget. Say which one you want to monitor it and have it in one shot in like a dashboard. So for example, I'll select something and I call it as database CPU something. See, I can have it in one place. So by seeing like this, everything can be, you can create a dashboard like this, and then everything can be visualized in one area. Basically, that's a dashboard simply for quick view actually. So create that and add widgets. You can create an alarms from CloudWatch console. You can create a billing alarm. Guys, create an event and get an email notification if anyone launched the EC2 instance. Can we get this using events? Yes. So try scheduler in CloudWatch Lambda using Lambda that we did it, right? And then the setup CloudWatch logs, how we did it, and clean up everything, guys. Terminate EC2, delete dashboards, event logs. Otherwise, it will be charged. Keep this in mind. And the new thing, what you need to explore it, what the CloudWatch logs on Windows. This is your exploring task on this service. Will you able to do this task, guys? Okay. So take those. And I'm showing how to delete nothing simple. Yeah, what to delete here. Let's say okay, first you need to save the dashboard. So delete dashboard. See, delete dashboard, delete the dashboards here, and delete the alarms. So okay, there are no alarms. Okay, insufficient here. Delete all this. Delete all the alarms here, and terminate the EC2 instances. And then delete the events, the rules that you have done it. And delete the log groups that you have created. Go and delete it. Got that? Nice, guys. Superb. If you want, you can take the pick here. Yeah. Hey, can you give me the final CC for today on these topics? Excellent. So please do that, the CloudWatch logs, that is a CloudWatch lab. Please, that is very important, guys. So guys, that is all for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and good night.